Okay, welcome guys. I'm going to show you how to remove background from your character or your model. How to remove background from your model. So we are actually going to be practicalizing it. So pay attention and be able to watch the steps we're actually going to take to remove the backgrounds from our character, because it's very important that you always remove background for your character. So let's bring in our first character for today. So we have our first character here, our young man. We already know him, Sabinus. So a good comedian. So this is our character. Now if you check very well, you notice that the color of what he's wearing is almost matching with the background. And most times when you want to remove your background, one of the things that helps to remove your background quickly is how neat the resolution of your picture is. You move very well. When we're moving into this picture, you see that as you're going closer, the resolution of this picture is not really too that strong, but we can still try to remove it using our quick method. There are basically different methods you can actually remove background in Photoshop. One of them is either using your lasso tool. We call it your lasso tool. Now this lasso tool, you can actually use it to trace your model or your image and then trace it out. Or if you can't use your lasso tool, you can use what we call your quick selection tool. Here you can use quick selection tool. So don't worry yourself, I'm going to show you how we can be able to do that. Or you can use the easy method. Now let's first of all start with our lasso tool. So we have already a picture of someone we want to use for our design, which is this. So we want to remove the background. So let's first of all click on our lasso tool here. Once you click it, your icon changes, and then you zoom inside. Make sure you always zoom in very well. So once you zoom in, then you're going to be left. You're going to you're going to be left clicking to draw it patiently. You see why I said it's going to be taking time. So you're just going to be drawing it, flowing it sequentially this way. You follow it. So sorry, we're going to zoom out. So once you want to do this, make sure you zoom out so that you can be able to get what you want to do. So now let's start from here. So that's why I said this particular pattern of removing background is not really nice, but I will still show you how to do that. So we follow it, we follow it sequentially this way, gently, we follow it gently, just be moving it. Yes. So make sure that you're holding your left mouse button, you're holding on the left click. You're not removing your hand. Don't remove your hand, just hold it like that and just keep dragging it at the edges of the character you want to remove till you get to where you started. So we are still moving. So we are still moving. Make sure you're holding it. I didn't release my hand, I'm still holding it till you get back to where you started. So once you get back to that place, you can remove. So once you remove your hand, so it forms something like a marquee around that model. You see it's showing a marquee around the model, means that you've actually selected it. So once you're done, you can come over to where you have your add layer mask. So once you click on add layer mask, so invariably it removes the background. But if you zoom very well, you notice that we still having part of the backgrounds around our model. So but then you can use your eraser tool to be able to clean them, but it's going to be taking you time. So let's go back to another way. So another way to do that is through using your either your magnetic lasso tool. Still on this lasso tool, or your polygon loser tool. So this polygon loser tool, what it helps you to be, you can, this one now, you're not clicking once and holding to drag. You just click once, move to the direction where you want to click again, click once, move to the next direction, click once, move to the next place, click once. So but one problem of this is that you can't have, when you have curves on the model, you cannot be able to achieve that. So let's just be clicking it that way. You see, we're not going to have a nice cropping out of our model, because this is not giving us a curve, because majorly our model here has curves on them. So but we can't be able to do that. So it's just like you're clicking once, moving to the next page, clicking, and then till you come back to where you started. So once you've clicked it there, you see the marquee still come, and then you can still click on your add layer mask. So once you add layer mask, you see the same thing. So let's go back. This is the second. So still on that loser tool, you can hold onto and then go to magnetic loser tool. But now let's go to the ones that can be able to help us. Now you can click on this where you have your quick selection tool. So this quick selection tool helps you to be able to select. Now once you click on this quick selection tool, notice that we have a circle and a minus inside. Minus simply means to remove the part you don't want, plus simply means to add. So when you check here, you have the quick selection tool here, we have add to selection, and then we have subtract from selection. So now add to selection, so we want to select the part we want to add, and then the other rest can be removed. So we have our circle, so we can start from here. Now you left click and drag. So once you see that I start left clicking to drag, so I'm dragging my circle to the part I want to select. Remember, the circle and the plus means add selection. So I'm just moving it to a bit to the side I want it to select. I'm just moving it, I'm not drawing it. So the part I want it to select, and it's selecting it. Like I said, the reason why it's having this selection this way, is because our picture is the resolution is a bit strong. So if it is a picture that the resolution is not a bit strong, it will be finding it difficult to pick the model. So okay, so sorry about that. So it's still, like I said, our model is not really that too strong. So you notice that coming to the down part, it tends to pick. Okay, this is something you do with patience. So you will see that finally, it's still going out. Sorry about that. So gently, and then okay. So since we see that it's selecting outside once we're getting down, so you can reduce your circle. So how to reduce your circle? Come to this place, to this so here, so you can actually reduce your circle from there. Oh no, not here. So sorry, on your make sure it's been selected. Then on your keyboard, hit your left yes, your quick selection to, sorry, hit on your left bracket to reduce it, while on the right bracket means to increase. So we hit on our left to just reduce it a bit, so that we can be able to capture it. So we've actually reduced it with our left bracket. So left bracket selected, and then we are having this selection. Oh, it's still going out. So let's see if we can start from down below and go up. Okay, so basically there are steps you can be able to do that. So okay, fine, sorry, it's still not working. So let's just keep trying until you're able to select all. Like I said, the reason why it's not giving us a perfect selection here is because our model is not that too bright. So gently, you see it's still going out. So but when you have a good quality pictures, you can be able to select. So let's just select some parts, and then I can be able to show you what I mean, that you can use this for it. So let's just say we selected this part now. So you can just come here. Once it's selected, you're already seeing the marquee. Once you see this marquee, you just come here and click here. So it will just cut out the parts that have actually been selected. So if you zoom in very carefully, you see that part of the backgrounds are not showing very well. So now this is the third part. Then the last one is using most Photoshop now. Recent Photoshop comes with this technique we are going to use now. Why some old ones find it difficult to have this. So once you already have your model picture selected, you go to select. From select, you come to subject, you click on subject. So now Photoshop is going to find a way to do the tracing by itself instead of you doing the tracing yourself. So it will do the tracing to save you time and energy. So you watch very well, you see that Photoshop has actually traced it perfectly for us, so you don't have to be tracing it. So this is just the very quick way of doing this. Select subject, and then you have it's been selected. Then the next part, from here, still click on select, come to select and mask, you click it. Once you click in select and mask, then you come right, you see that this panel at the right hand side here have changed. It has changed. So what do you do next? You scroll down and come to where you have the contaminate colors. So if you don't see this contaminate color, you notice that your setting is like this. You see output setting this way. So click on here to turn it down, and then you see the contaminate colors. Click on it. Then once you select it, you come down here under your output to select this, and then click on new layer. So once you click on new layer, click on OK. So once you click on OK, you have your model cut out from its background, and then you can be able to move that. If you don't do it that way, the next way you can do it, so let's go back. So select subject. So we allow Photoshop to do the tracing for us. Once Photoshop is done tracing it, you can just come here, add layer mask like we did in the other ones. Click it. But now we've clicked it, but we're still having a little problem. You notice that it has another mask by the right hand side, so we need to remove that mask. So to remove this and then just allow it, because as it is now, you cannot do so much with this now. So unless we remove this layer mask here, so what do? You come to this layer mask, you right click on it. Once you right click, you see select and mask, you click on select and mask. Once you see select and mask, then you now see this same menu that appeared when we clicked select to see select and mask. It comes out. Then you click down here, come to the contaminate colors, layers, new layers, and then you click OK. So with that, you can be able to remove our background. Now this is the background of a guy. Now let's just say we want to bring in a lady that has hair in our artboard to remove background from her. So how do we achieve that? So if you notice that this lady has a background, so how can you know he has a background? So let's so you see that he has a white background. So because the white background, we already have the white background, so you will not be able to notice. So now you notice that she has hair. So the same thing, once you get pictures, always seek to get high resolution pictures from your clients if they want you to use a model for your design. You notice this picture is not really that too of high resolution, but Photoshop can be able to do a tracing for you perfectly well for it. So what's the next thing to do? We already have it selected from our layer. You go to your select, go to subject, click on select, and then wait for Photoshop to do the tracing for you. So once Photoshop is done tracing it, you notice that yes, it has done the tracing. You see the marquee around it. But you know guys, this is hair. So sometimes this hair, they are all scattered, some are leaping out, and then they are, you watch very well, you see the way he did it, there are some parts he did not select. So we don't want that to happen. So we are still going to fix that. So the next thing you do, you go to select and mask. Now this is where the mathematics works. Now we'll need to increase our our brush too. So by clicking on the right bracket, now here we want to be able to fade those parts. Those, if you watch very well, you see that they are part of our hair that are actually outside, that are not in together with the rest. So if you leave it this way, you will see this background here is going to be affecting this part of the hair that is not together with this part. So we need to align it and make it happen. Like you see very well, you see that there are some part of this hair that are outside and you can see the background through here. So we don't want that to happen. So what do? You come to this place where you have your refine edge brush. So what the refine edge brush helps to refine the edges of the hair, to be able to feed it very well with the head, and then so that the background will not be able to show. So once we've selected our refined edge here, then we can be able to zoom in, and then we'll be able to just right clicking. We'll just be right clicking. So you just right click. Don't worry about what you're doing, just at the edges, not inside, just at the edges of the hair. Just be right clicking at the edges of the hair, like you're brushing gently, gently. Those parts you know that the hair are just flinging out, you brush it gently. So we don't really have much hair flinging out here. So once you're done doing that, the next thing you do is you still come down to this place, finish up the contaminate colors, click on here, new layers, don't touch any other thing again, and then click on smooth. So you've watched very carefully, you see that it has actually done a perfect work. So we don't have our background anywhere around the hair. You see, we don't have the background anywhere around the hair. So it did a very good job. So one more we are actually going to bring in, still a lady. So we bring in this model. Let's look for her. Okay, yeah. Now if you look very well, you notice that this one, her hair are a bit scattered. You will see that there are spaces here where you can be able to see through the backgrounds. We don't want to see that happen. So I'm actually going to show you how you can be able to go through it without how to remove your model without showcasing the background at the body. If you notice, her hair is a bit flinging, some of them are just scattered. So we want to only make use of the model, not the background. So the next thing we do is we still go to our select with the background, with the image selected at our layer here. Make sure you select it here, make sure you select it. Go to select at the menu bar, click on subject. So once you click on the subject, you allow Photoshop to do the tracing for you. Once it's done tracing this for you, once we zoom in, you will notice that here there's a way he did the selection. Because of this place that part of the hair are scattered, he didn't do proper selection. So we need to refine the edges of this hair in order for the background not to show. If you watch very well, you notice that this picture is much high resolution, it's pixelated. Look at it, it's very of high resolution, much more than the ones we have been getting. So if you want to get much high resolution pictures, you can check on FreePix or on Splash or pixels.com, so where you can get high resolution pictures of models or subjects you want to use for your design. So now we have our model being selected. So we still go to select and max. Now we come here, so we click on our brush, this edge refine. So here, once we click on it, it's already in circle, plus not minus, you always leave it in plus. So you will come down here and then increase your brush a bit, and then we will just try to be brushing around those areas we know that yes, that there are backgrounds in, just to be able to close it. So we have here, so we are just, so once you notice that once you're brushing it, it looks as if your this thing is load and then the circle comes out. So don't brush too much, just a bit. So those parts you know that the hair is just flinging, you just brush it a bit, just gently, gently. Don't overbrush in a place. Don't overbrush in a place. So you make sure you just brush it gently, gently till you're done to the last part of it. So make sure that you brush every part of the hair. So if you notice this part here, we are still seeing part of the background, so we still brush it, we still brush. So make sure you brush gently, take your time and just brush it gently. So once we are done brushing, the next thing you do, you can just increase the feather a little bit, and then just a little bit, and then your smoothness, you increase it a little bit. Once you're done, leave every other thing. Come here, click on decontaminate color, and then select this new layer, click OK. So now you see our background is off. So like I said, it's because we brushed too much, that's why you're seeing this. So but you see that we don't have our background, we only have our picture here. So with this you can be able to use. So when brushing, don't brush too much. Like you see, we brushed it too much, that's why we have this. So you just brush gently once or twice in a space, and then you have your model, and then you do the rest, and then decontaminate. Thank you so much for today's class. Please always like our videos, click on the subscribe link, share these videos to any new graphic designer who is finding it difficult to remove background from his model he wants to use. And I tell you, can be able to learn this without even paying anywhere to be able to get your